या पीछे, अगर उसको कुछ होश है उसको, तो फिर ज़्यादा इम्कान है कि वो एक तरफ जाता है। उस सूरत में प्रोबेबिलिटी हाफ हाफ नहीं होगी, मे बी इट विल बी 2/3 and 1/3. They have to add up to 1. So all this is equal to 0, which means on the average, he will be where he started. What about the square? Okay, so let's look at the square of the distance that he has traveled. So this will be okay. Now we can open this up. This will be x1 squared plus x2 squared plus xn squared plus, okay, then there will be 2x1 x2 plus 2x1 x3 plus etc. etc. Finally, there will be 2 Well, if I take any one of these terms over here, x1, x2 for example, well, this, the average of this thing and that is equal to 0. But why can I write this? हाँ, एक दूसरे से इंडिपेंडेंट है, they have nothing to do with each other, and so this is equal to 0. However, here average of x1 squared, well, what is average of x1 squared? Whether he goes forward, that's L squared. Whether he goes back is also L squared. So this is L squared plus L squared n times, and that is equal to n L squared. तो उसने n कदम लिए, x स्क्वायर में जब भी वो एक कदम आगे बढ़ता है तो x स्क्वायर में L स्क्वायर का इजाफा, which means that the average of x squared is nL squared. Or if you want to take the square root, so square root of that will be equal to square root of n, and the variance sigma is the same as the variance. इसलिए the average of x is equal to 0. So after he has taken n steps, he will be at a distance, at an average distance squared, square root. He will be at an RMS distance of square root of n times n. तो वो जितने ज्यादा कदम लेगा,
ये आपने इक्वल टू सिग्मा क्यों लिखा है?
इसलिए कि सिग्मा इज इक्वल टू
सिग्मा तो वेरिएंस में
आपने
आपने स्क्वायर रूट लिया हुआ है।
अच्छा वो स्क्वायर रूट ज़्यादा है।
सिग्मा स्क्वायर लिखते हैं।
This is equal to sigma. So it's sigma will be equal to n L square. Okay, and if he's taking n steps per second, then with time you will see that his distance from the center will increase as square root of the time. Let's do a two-dimensional so that you get the idea of this. Let's do a two-dimensional. So,
what about 2x1 and x2? I mean, ये दोनों भी स्क्वायर हो जाते हैं. They are two values. अगर वो दोनों नेगेटिव हैं, तो फिर they are positive.
लेकिन average of x1 x2 is equal to 0. देखो x1 और x2 का आपस जब वो पहला कदम लेता तो दूसरा कदम जो है वो आगे भी हो सकता है और पीछे भी हो सकता है. So they don't have anything to do with each other. That is why there will be that is why this average will be 0. Let's do a two-dimensional. This was moving forward, backward, backward, forward. What if it is? अच्छा, अब वो इस तरफ जा सकता है, अगला कदम जो है उसका कहीं भी हो सकता है, इधर हो सकता है, ठीक. Size of his step is the same, L. Okay, then he takes a step like this, then takes a step like this, and he says, and that's more complicated. अब क्या है?
एवरेज किसकी जीरो होगी?
Okay, let's see. Average to 0.
अगर एवरेज किसी भी सिचुएशन में जीरो ना हो, उसका मतलब होगा कि हम किसी डायरेक्शन को प्रेफर कर रहे हैं.
हाँ.
जो कि
तो अगर कुछ होश है उसको, तो उस तरफ जाने की प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा होगी. उसको पता है कि मेरा घर वो उस तरफ है, कि 70% चांस है कि घर उस तरफ है. So probability of moving in the forward direction will not be 0.5, it will be 0.7. तो ये उसके ऊपर है ना, उसकी कैफियत के ऊपर. तो and 30% will be in the other direction. Okay, let's see.
सर इस सिचुएशन में एवरेज जीरो कैसे होगी?
इस इधर सेकंड इसमें. Okay. अभी मैं प्रूफ करने वाला हूँ, लेकिन वो प्रूफ बहुत आसान है. मुझे कुछ ज्यादा लिखने की जरूरत नहीं. अब ये वेक्टर्स होंगे, और इस पर मुझे सिर्फ 3 लगा. So then if I ask what is the average of the vector, then each one of these will be 0. Achha, let me try and convince you. Why is the average of x1 0? इसलिए कि वो यूं जा सकता है, यूं जा सकता है, यूं जा सकता है, यूं जा सकता है। So, infinite possibility, but no direction is preferred over any other direction. So on the average, the value of this vector must be 0. पहले तो सिर्फ ये था आगे पीछे का ना, अब तो ये कि वो किसी भी डायरेक्शन में जा सकता है, लेकिन उसी चांस के साथ मुखालिफ से भी जा सकता है। So on the average, x1 will be 0, x2 will be 0, so nothing has changed. Okay, so now let's come over here. We have so all I do is I put these. Okay, now x1 squared is x1 dot x1, which is just the length of that vector. So the direction does not matter, which means that the length of that vector and its average will be the same. So all of these are the same. अब इधर क्या किया जाए? Now you will have a dot product between this and this, which means, let's say, x1 dot x2. Well, this is wrong. This is wrong. Now we have now we will have L squared times the, what is the dot product of two vectors? Length of one into the length of the other into the cosine of the angle between them. Into the cosine of the angle which is between the first and the second step. And what will be that average? मैंने एक स्टेप आगे लिया, दूसरा स्टेप, चलो मैं इस तरफ, okay, so I've gone this way. My next step is, let's say here, this is the angle theta 1.
सर इसके एवरेज को साइन थीटा किस तरह कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं कि इंटीग्रल फ्रॉम 0 to 2 pi of cosine divided by 1 over 2 pi.
Yeah, but you don't even need to divide. Integral of 0 to 2 pi of cosine theta d theta is equal to 0. Yeah. So this angle can be 0, 0.1, pi by 4, कोई सा भी हो सकता है from 0 to 2 pi. जब आप cosine, so if you take cosine of theta, and that's d theta cosine of theta 0 to 2 pi, that's equal to 0. So all of these,
In general with साथ
yes, you have to divide by 2 pi. I don't know what 2 pi. Okay, so nothing has changed, and this answer remains. Very nice result. That you will increase the distance from where you started by the square root of the number of steps. When we do statistical mechanics, we will apply this to a rubber band. Because in a rubber band, you have molecules which can point in any direction. And we will be able to see how the length of a rubber band increases with temperature from the drunkard's walk. यही तो देखें ना, फिजिक्स में मजे की बात है कि कहाँ से आपने एक प्रॉब्लम लिया, somebody wandering around, उधर आपने मटेरियल्स के ऊपर अप्लाई किया टू पॉलीमर्स, polymer physics. But that is not it. Take a dice which has got 6 sides. So xi goes from, so you have x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. What if you took a dice with 20 sides? Then I would go from 1 to 20. What if you took a dice with an infinite number of sides? What is a dice with an infinite number of sides? Sphere ही होगा. It's got so many sides that. Okay. So then we have to.
सर जीरो तो लगाइए, प्रोबेबिलिटी जीरो नहीं है क्या? प्रोबेबिलिटी
किसकी?
इसके गिरने की,
किसके गिरने?
इनफिनिट नंबर ऑफ डाइस के
जीरो क्या?
प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या होगी?
किसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी?
डाइस के इनफिनिट नंबर ऑफ साइंस.
अगर n अगर आइडियल है तो 1/n होगी. किसी एक फेस पर अगर n फेसेस हैं, अगर आप ये सिक्का लेते हैं तो उसके 2 साइड्स हैं, हाफ 1/2 1/2. अगर पांसा लेते हैं उसके 6 हैं, 1/6. अगर n है तो 1/n.
अगर इंफिनिटी है
होगा ऐसी.
then is equal to 0.
So suppose x is a continuous random variable. Then the probability of finding x between x and x plus dx is p of x dx, provided that the sum of the probabilities is equal to 1. So let's say that x goes between 0 and 1. Then this integral would be between 0 and 1. If x goes from minus infinity to plus infinity, then here the integral will be from minus infinity to plus infinity. तो जो भी x का रेंज है, ये इंटीग्रल 1 होना चाहिए, जिसका मतलब वही बनता है. See, this is the equivalent of जब डिस्क्रीट रैंडम वेरिएबल्स होते हैं जिन्हें आप गिन सकते हैं, तो कोई ना कोई रैंडम वेरिएबल मिलने की प्रोबेबिलिटी 1. You will find this, you will find either the coin up or the coin down. You will find the dice on one of the 6 faces. So all those probabilities will add up to 1. So in this case, the probabilities will add up to 1 integrated. So there's not much difference between this and this, except all the summations go into integrals. And actually, we have already encountered this. You know, when we talked about the distribution of velocities in a gas, ये हमने पहले ये सब कुछ आपको पता है पहले से. और जिन्होंने quantum mechanics पढ़ी, they know that this is the normalization of a wave function. You integrate and get 1. So discrete variables and continuous variables, they're very similar. And maybe one point I will again emphasize is that if you ask what is the probability of 2 independent events, it is the probability of one multiplied by the probability of the other. So the probability of if A and B are independent random variables, the probability of having both A and B is probability of A times probability of B. Give me an example of 2 random variables which are independent of each other, which have nothing to do with each other. कोई सी मिसाल आपको?
2 dice.
हैं?
2 dice.
Good, 2 dice. If I roll 1 dice, it has no impact on the rolling of the other dice. Okay. Fine. गैस के हवाले से जो हम बात करते हैं, उसके हवाले से कोई मिसाल दें?
So gases of different densities.
Some non-reaction gases.
Okay. Gases of the probability of finding in this room a molecule of oxygen has nothing to do with the probability of finding a molecule of nitrogen. So this will be this probability multiplied by that probability. Let's take one molecule, one atom. The probability that it has a certain velocity in the x direction has got nothing to do with how fast it is moving in the other 2 directions. So the probability will be multiplied, probability of x velocity, probability of y, probability of z, just with the product of the 3. ठीक.